Hao Ren was an ugly, disgusting orphan loser who was going to lose his life against cancer in 3 days. But God decided to give him a second chance at life and chose him to save the world from the reincarnation of the divine beasts. However, he secretly betrayed the worthless gods and searched for the Fenrir deity, gaining the forbidden ability to destroy the entire world, and obtained a broken cheat skill to enslave every sexy girl he ever wanted. Throughout his childhood, his parents had constantly starved and abused him, so he killed them at the age of 5 and spent all of their life savings on his gambling addiction. Even on his last day of being alive, he wasted it like a worthless loser sleeping at the park. But a disgusting girl woke him up, saying she wanted a sus place to spend the night and offered to pay him with her body. In that moment, his last 2 brain cells clicked, and he realized that he would finally get to develop plot before dying as a virgin loser, so they began going to his house. While they were on the bus, the ugly girl introduced herself as Lily, and as they were walking through a sketchy alley, the wind revealed Lily's cat ears, but Hao Ren thought it was just his cancer meds making him hallucinate. Just then, however, Lily saw a horde of bats surrounding them, so she pushed Hao Ren onto the wall before asking him to run away, promising she'll give him the sloppiest head when they were safe. However, when the bats cornered them, Lily revealed her hot wolf girl form, but she pushed him away when a seductive vampire attacked him, before narrowly evading her astral claws. As she leaped back to kick her down, the vampire caught her tail, before flying to the sky and vanishing towards Hao Ren. Although Lily tried sprinting towards him, the vampire girl had already caught up to her new boyfriend. But before she could suck him off, Lily picked up a brick to destroy her wings, forcing her to vanish away. After getting back to Hao Ren, her wolf form disintegrated, but she promised to leave him before his life was put in danger, asking him to keep her existence a secret. However, Hao Ren couldn't let a dumbass girl like her roam the ghetto alleys alone, so he told her he was going to die anyway from cancer tomorrow, and brought her back to his home. When they were inside, he showed her the disgusting ass room she would be staying in. But before he left to ask for her payment, she came out of her room to reveal the truth.
Emotional damage!
Realizing he was about to die a virgin, he slept for the final night and prepared to never wake up again, but never heard God calling his phone. In the morning, Lily was shocked that he was still alive, and after realizing that she got scammed, she said that the TV wasn't working. But when he tried to steal his neighbor's Wi-Fi, he saw hundreds of bats outside before they broke through his window, and the vampire girl revealed her true form. After taking Hao Ren away from Lily, she revealed that the wolf girl was just a gold digger that was planning to eat him, and told him to run before she launched at Lily. As they began pussy fighting and destroying his worthless living room, he screamed at them to stop ruining his disgusting home or they would pay for all the furniture. But even though they stopped, the vampire called Lily an ugly flat board, saying she was only here for the house. When Hao Ren wondered what she meant, the vampire's belly started growling, so he made them food, but asked the vampire if she would rather suck him off instead.
I beg your pardon?
Sorry, I meant suck his blood, but she said he reeked worse than an anime convention, so she would rather just eat the food, and introduced herself as Vivian, saying she was also here to live with him. Realizing that he could scam both of these homeless chicks, he decided to make both of them give him sloppy toppy. But Lily broke the table, saying she won't live with an ugly hag like her. However, she realized that she messed up, and Hao Ren went on to show Vivian her room. But she jumped out of the window to bring back her bag, saying she was going to pay her rent now. But when she looked inside of her bag, she realized that she'd lost all of her money, and blamed Lily's disgusting face for losing it. As she began crying, she told Hao Ren she would do anything on her knees so he could let her stay. And being the spineless simp he is, he decided to let her stay for free. She said she would allow him to eat her out, but while they tried to eat her food, Hao Ren received a call from God, but wondered what type of fake-ass God would even use the phone. However, God told him to meet him next to the ghetto bus stop, so when he finally got there, he wondered why God would meet him inside the middle of the hood. Just then, God called him once again, telling him to look above his disgusting head, and he wondered why the fuck there was a building in the sky. His soul was transported to the heavenly dimension, and as he entered the castle, he kept following the voice until he entered a room with a girl carrying massive cannons. She told him that her name was Raven 12345, the goddess of war and his future boss. After saying his face is uglier in person, she told him to sit down, and he realized that his cancer meds were definitely expired. As Raven began slurping on his noodle, she said that she would prevent him from getting killed by cancer, but the goddess snapped her finger to teleport him to another dimension. She told him that his job will be to keep housing the divine beasts, so he will need to protect the world from their destructive powers. However, if he was to not accept, she would simply kill the girls and allow cancer to take his life away. So he realized that he had no choice but to accept, and took the documents from her hand. After realizing he would be getting food stamps and welfare checks, he decided to sign his life away as a slave of the gods, and was teleported back to his room. At the same time, the girls were bent over his table while playing with his pen. However, this was the first time Vivian's ever heard of gods existing, and wondered who this fake god was, as Lily was swallowing all of Hao Ren's meat. Later that day, Hao Ren was laying down when he was transported into a mystical dimension, and as he looked around him, he wondered if he was still dreaming. As he continued walking around, a pack of wolves saw him and began chasing his ass, but he tripped on a stone and was unable to keep running, so the wolf approached him and began eating him. After being devoured, the Fenrir deity appeared before his eyes, telling him that the gods are deceiving him. Just then, Lily woke his ugly ass up, but although he thought it was just a dream, he realized he had some of the wolf's hair. The following morning, he returned to the heavenly realm to tell the goddess about his dream, but when he knocked on the door, nobody answered. After a while of looking around, Raven's massive cannons finally appeared, and he wondered how that outfit carried her massive tit. Massive sword, I meant massive sword. Lord have mercy, that jiggle is insane.
We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused.
Eventually, they entered her room again, showing him a device that would protect him from being killed on his missions. But before he would get to go on any missions, she took him to a room to complete his entrance exam, and a coffin materialized in front of him. Before he could reject, the goddess kicked his worthless ass inside, wishing him luck in returning alive, because no one would miss his ugly ass. As the coffin closed, it began spinning as he threw up inside, and lightning began electrocuting him before it vanished. But the goddess wondered if she accidentally killed him by pressing the wrong button. After waking up, he realized that he was back inside the mystical dimension, and after walking around for a while, a device appeared, saying it was going to be his AI assistant. While walking through a glimmering forest, the device said he was now inside the dream dimension, but if he was to die in this world, he would also die in the real world. On top of that, all the broken abilities he gains from this world can be transferred to the real world, giving him a cheat leveling system no one else will be able to access. However, two wolves began approaching him, and the device told him that running is useless against wolves. But as they got closer, he wondered what he should do. The three wolves leaped towards him, but Hao Ren knocked one of them down before the other two tried biting his body. After falling back, he wondered why there was a shield around him, so the device said this was one of the cheat abilities he'd obtained, making him invincible to any physical attacks. But just then, the wolves began howling, and in the distance, the Fenrir deity howled back. As Hao Ren tried running for his pathetic life, he was knocked down, but as the Fenrir was about to eat him alive, his shield defended him from the attack and broke the Fenrir's teeth. As he backed away, the wolf spoke to Hao Ren, asking him why he had come to their land, and getting closer to his face. Hao Ren said he was a traveler, but the wolf said that he can smell the scent of the gods on him, and showed him his pack that was hungry for some meat, and needed revenge because he would no longer be able to hunt with his broken teeth. However, Hao Ren thought they could make a deal, saying that he would take him to the closest human settlement to find him a dentist. Although the wolf god thought he was a liar, he had no other option, so he began taking Hao Ren towards the nearest human village. After arriving at the settlement, Hao Ren promised that he would come back with a dentist. But once the wolf was gone, he decided to enter one of the rooms, and saw that no one was there. Just then, the AI told him to stop using it as a fleshlight, and showed him an item that didn't belong inside the room. After digging it up, a magical light emanated all around him, and a tornado began blowing air inside of the room, releasing a beacon of light towards the sky, and creating a crater where Hao Ren was. The following day, Lily's ugly ass was trying to treat a dog, but as she ran after it, she bumped into a mysterious hoodlum, and wondered why he was so powerful as he walked away. At the same time, Vivian was vacuuming the floor, and wondered what else she could do with the vibration from the machine. But Lily asked her why the fuck she was making out with the vacuum. However, she said she was just preparing a house for Lily, showing her the dog house she found by the river, saying that dogs sleep there, and stuck the vacuum in her face to suck her off. At the same time, Hao Ren returned back from the dream dimension, and when he asked the goddess why she sent him to his death, she told him that this was a parallel universe existing within the hidden dimension of the dreams. However, Hao Ren was the only person in the universe who can travel between these other worlds. When he told her that he'd been there before in his dreams and brought back some wolf hair, she thought he was even more powerful than she ever imagined and kicked him outside of the room, saying he will be going to Europe to find a new tenant. But along with him, she had bought 2 extra plane tickets for his worthless hose and wished him luck staying in the same hotel room as them. After he was gone, her massive cannons began casting a spell onto the hair, burning all of the evidence, and realizing that Hao Ren has the power to destroy the universe, so she couldn't let him find out the truth about the gods. A few days later, Hao Ren and the girls began flying to their destination, and Vivian wondered what the new tenant looks like. As they arrived in the city, they began heading for the hotel. But after wandering for several hours, they realized they were lost, and Hao Ren thought that both of his companions were just as useless as his face. Just then, Vivian came up with an idea, and decided to make Lily smell the hotel envelope, hoping she would trail the scent. As she recognized it, they realized she was too lazy to wake up, so Hao Ren tried saying that the hotel would have some tasty food waiting for them. At that instant, her fat ass became excited and followed the smell immediately. As they arrived inside their room, Vivian began looking around like she was from a jungle and thought the place was a paradise. Eventually, Lily ordered food, and she began devouring Hao Ren's meat like a homeless, disgusting creep, until Hao Ren could take no more of it. After a moment, they began apologizing for being disgraceful, filthy wives that were not fit for a great Muslim man, and he threatened to send them home next time. To continue their task, he tried checking for the tenant's location on the device, but realized that it has an outdated map. Just then, Raven's hologram appeared before his eyes, telling him that the tenant was actually in Yorkford, and that he was supposed to find his way there himself. As she vanished at that instant, Hao Ren called her an ugly white-haired bitch for not giving them any real directions. However, just as the device upgraded, it summoned a cloud above him, and lightning struck him for calling her an ugly bitch. After a moment, they decided to head for the dining room. And as they had dinner, Lily began devouring Hao Ren's meat like a useless, disgusting glutton again. And Hao Ren wondered how this ugly, filthy wench became his wife in the first place. Inside the corridor, Vivian's summoned spirit discovered that the corridor was protected with a demon hunter's incantation. So she told Hao Ren that they must return to their room immediately, as she was afraid that a demon hunter may be spying on them. Just then, a man appeared before them, asking to sit at their table. As Vivian wondered who he was, he told them that he was Nangong, and said that he was Chinese just like them. That evening, Hao Ren began to wonder if the new tenant was responsible for the emergence of ghosts in the area, and thought that Nangong was a mysterious spy. As Vivian appeared, she told him that there was a demon hunter in the hotel, but when Hao Ren tried suggesting that they find him before he eliminates them, she said that the demon hunter was probably Nangong. As Hao Ren wondered if there was a sure way to discover that he was the one, Nangong said that he was, and they realized that he was in the next room. He decided to reintroduce himself and told them that his job was to purge evils. However, Vivian was not convinced and told him to prove that he belongs to the Demon Hunter Association. But he told them that he was a self-employed professional demon hunter. Vivian thought he was a clown and began laughing at his useless, horrendous face, saying that a demon hunter exposing himself was as ridiculous as a fatso anime watcher saying they took a shower. Yes, she's also referring to all you losers who never take any showers. You filthy, disgusting fucking creeps.
Yo, that one there was a violation. Personally, I wouldn't have it.
Vivian thought he was certainly a fake and decided to head inside, but Nangong appeared before them instantly. However, he lost his balance, and Hao Ren managed to catch him before he hugged the ground. A few minutes later, Vivian began wondering if he was truly a demon hunter. To prove he was truly one, Nangong decided to reveal the demon hunter's incantation, which could cause damage to any demon. However, he began to wonder if they really were human, and thought they were probably creeps for intending to travel to Yorkford. Afraid of getting stabbed with a stake, Hao Ren told him that he was certainly human, so Nangong thought fate must have brought them together, and suggested following them to Yorkford. Vivian thought he could show them the way, and agreed that he follows them. However, when he left, she told Hao Ren that they must keep an eye on him, saying that his target may be their new tenant. The following day, as they headed off to Yorkford, Hao Ren wondered why the ghosts had appeared in the first place, but even Nangong had no idea, and thought he could catch the ghosts anyway. Just then, they spotted a creepy man on the news who began saying that a ghost in Yorkford was always spotted at midnight, and the reporter revealed that anyone who captures the ghost would be rewarded with cash. At that instant, Vivian suggested that they try capturing the ghost so they would claim all the money. But Hao Ren said that they must stick to their own business. Nangong revealed that he could smell the ghost already and thought the money was good as his own. Shortly, a group of ghost hunters entered the car, thinking this was their lucky day, and Hao Ren realized that they probably also intend to capture the ghosts in Yorkford. As they arrived at the town, Nangong revealed that he could smell the ghosts, but Vivian thought he was a useless, worthless loser that should stay as far away as possible from the rest of them.
Damn!
That night, as they arrived inside an inn, they realized that the innkeeper was the creepy man on the news, and he told them that all the rooms were occupied. However, Nangong began saying that it was already too late to find someplace else, and Hao Ren wondered if there was a little space they could manage for the night. Realizing his chance, the man offered to find them an extra room. A few hours later, the innkeeper told them that he has prepared 2 rooms, and Hao Ren realized that Lily had fallen deeply asleep. As they began heading to the room, Lily thought that Vivian was hot chicken wings and tried eating her out. That night, as Hao Ren slept, Vivian jumped on top of him, and he thought the castle ghost had come to capture him. However, when he wondered why she had come, she told him that Nangong had left for the castle, and that they must catch up with him immediately. As they arrived in the next room to summon Lily, they discovered that the room was a total mess, and Hao Ren saw that she was giving his breadstick the sloppiest head technique.
Yeah, boy.
To wake her up, Vivian pushed her into the wall, but even so, she barely came awake. On the other hand, the innkeeper was driving the ghost hunters to the castle, telling them that he was offering them a rare favor, but Nangong hitched a free ride on the roof. Before long, Vivian began flying towards the castle, and Hao Ren thought he would surely break every single bone in his body if he fell to the ground. At the same time, they noticed Lily running in her wolf form, and Vivian thought there must be a shortcut somewhere. Just then, Hao Ren sensed that Lily had fallen asleep, and she crashed into a rock. Hao Ren told Vivian that his vision must have been enhanced from the test, and he thought he was becoming a superhuman. As they landed, they realized that Lily had grown a second head, and she stumbled inside a cave, making them discover the shortcut. So they started walking through the cave, but Vivian slipped on her ass. After a few minutes, they arrived at the exit, and realized that the castle truly looks haunted. However, they soon noticed several ghost hunters, and Lily wondered where their new tenant was. Hoping to discover his whereabouts, Hao Ren decided to ask the device, but the useless piece of junk said that it has no clue, and that they must investigate on their own. As they tried searching around, they began hearing a ghost noise, and spotted Nangong as he jumped down from a wall. Before long, they noticed an old church, and as they appeared before it, they started hearing more ghost noises, and the girls grew afraid. Just then, they noticed a group of ghost hunters approaching, and decided to hide away. As the group wondered how they could enter the church, Vivian's bats ambushed them, and she appeared in the sky, flying towards them with her evil eyes. At the same time, Lily began howling like a wolf, and the scared hunters ran off instantly. With the losers gone, Lily threw away the rock, and they realized that the church was in total ruins. However, Lily realized she could smell a human nearby, and Vivian found a footprint. At that moment, Lily discovered a cursed cross, and Vivian blew away the dust, revealing an ancient text. So Hao Ren made the device translate the words. When it was done, Lily decided to follow the instructions, and as she threw away the block, Vivian directed her to pull the hoop. At that instant, the floor opened, revealing a secret passage, so they headed in. As they began walking through the dark corridor, Lily hoped that a ghost would not appear before their eyes. Just then, they arrived at a great tunnel, and Vivian thought it was probably used in a war or something. As Lily caught a human scent, she started running down another corridor, but they tried to slow her down, afraid she would fall for a trap. Outside the castle, Nangong realized that several ghosts were truly inside the castle. In an instant, he threw an incantation on a boulder and cast a spell to raise it. However, as he began looking into the hole, the incantation flew away, and the boulder nearly crushed him. Inside the castle, Hao Ren was exhausted from the run, so Vivian suggested that they start looking for treasures, but he thought she was a useless greedy moron that could not separate her head from her ass. Just then, they heard a sound, and Lily thought it was probably the tenant, so they started heading towards the sound. But Vivian wondered why they had not come across him already. Hao Ren said they were probably right behind him. However, as they arrived at the end of the corridor, they realized that it was actually the innkeeper. Hao Ren wondered why the ugly old creep was moving around the castle, and Lily tried saying that he was probably hunting for ghosts, but Vivian shut her useless mouth. Before their eyes, she cast an invisibility spell and covered them up with a dark fog, saying they were now disguised as ghosts. Before they knew it, Lily frightened him, and he thought she was the ghost of a knight. As Hao Ren pretended to be a ghost, the man began telling him that he fabricated ghost stories to attract tourists, and started begging to be spared. Hao Ren thought he was a useless scum, and told him to scram, so he ran off immediately. Just then, the dark fog cleared away, and they discovered ancient texts on the walls. Vivian said that they were magic letters that suppress all kinds of evil. Hao Ren wondered what the letters meant, so Vivian said that it was a powerful seal that was protecting a great weapon, and that once the seal was broken, the guardians would awaken. As she decided to touch the letters, the rune sensed her magical powers and tried eliminating them all, but Hao Ren protected them with a cover, so they started running towards the exit, and Lily hurried ahead to destroy the door. As Hao Ren tried resting, a metal ball began rolling towards them, and they stuck to the wall so they wouldn't be crushed. However, Lily began pursuing it like a useless moronic kid that never had a toy when she was little. So Hao Ren and Vivian started chasing after her, but she fell into a pit before their eyes. Vivian wasn't going to let her become a pancake, so she flew into the pit and managed to catch her. But Hao Ren fell on top of them just before they landed. At that moment, they realized that the dungeon was full of treasure and all the great food. However, Hao Ren stopped Vivian instantly, saying that it was a trap. So they cleared their vision, and all the treasure vanished before their eyes, making Lily realize that she could have become a pancake for the second time. Vivian said that there was probably a lust-evoking hallucination magic in the dungeon, and Lily wondered why it had no effect on Hao Ren. So Vivian said that his mind must have acquired the self-actualization skill, and suggested that they head outside. Shortly, they started walking through another passage, and Hao Ren wondered where the tenant could possibly be, since their only lead had led them to the innkeeper. Vivian said that the tenant might be the prisoner who was trapped inside the castle with a rune spell, and Hao Ren thought he was probably dangerous. Before they knew it, new runes appeared in the walls and began closing on them. As Lily tried to punch the wall, she realized that she had lost all her strength, and Vivian discovered that their powers had been absorbed by the runes. Unwilling to abandon his wives, Hao Ren decided to push the walls apart and managed to stop them from closing. Lily realized her strength had returned, but Hao Ren had no idea what just happened. On the other hand, Nangong managed to survive the traps and luckily dodged the metal ball. However, as he thought he was finally safe, he fell into a pit and landed inside the water. At the same time, Hao Ren and the girls tried taking a rest, but the ghosts of the knights emerged from the ground and started chasing them. As one ghost appeared before them, Lily punched the sword off and slayed it. Just as they entered a new dungeon, Vivian sealed the entrance immediately. She told them that she could smell ghosts all around them, but Hao Ren wished he could return home already. As Lily decided to read the words written on the sword, Vivian revealed that the ghosts of the knights were protecting the magic stone. Hao Ren wondered what the magic stone was, so Vivian said that it was the magic for demons, and that it could even summon them. Hearing her words, Hao Ren realized that the magic stone was better off left untouched. Meanwhile, Nangong had grown exhausted from the fall and was trying to remember the warmth of his bed. Just then, he sensed a powerful magic and activated a spell with several demon hunter incantations. The force from the magic caused the walls to rumble, and a chain broke from the magic stone. As the walls exploded, a cover protected them, and they wondered what just happened. Just then, they started hearing Nangong's voice, but realized that an army of ghost knights had surrounded them. As they prepared for a fight, arrows eliminated a few ghosts, and they realized that Nangong had fired the arrows. He told them that he would handle the ghosts, and tried flying over to the magic stone, but fell down like the worthless loser he is. Hao Ren and the girls tried to help him, but realized that the ghosts were not backing away. At once, Nangong jumped before them, offering to take on the ghosts. As they drew closer, he cast glitter on them, and they began to freeze, so he started finishing them off with arrows, and Hao Ren thought he was cool for a loser. However, when the rest of the ghosts surrounded them, Vivian told Hao Ren to buy her some time until she generates enough power to destroy them. So Lily began knocking down the ghosts, and Vivian oozed with a red aura. As one ghost tried slaying her, Hao Ren protected her with a cover, so Lily punched it away. Just then, Nangong realized that he had run out of arrows, so Lily started hurling rocks at them until she grew exhausted. At that moment, Vivian was ready to unleash her powers, and Lily punched a rock at the knights, accidentally knocking Nangong unconscious. With Vivian ready to eliminate them all, she decided to unleash the power of the Noble Blood sect, and launched an energy blast at the knights, but the magic stone absorbed all her magic. Before their eyes, a light shot straight into the sky, and brimstones destroyed the castle. Just then, a demon lord appeared before them, and they thought they were surely doomed. Before they knew it, he carried the men away, and the girls followed them. As he landed far away from the castle, Vivian thought she could kick his ass, and started summoning her powers as they noticed the red moon in the sky. However, the demon lord was in no mood for a fight, and began wondering who his landlord was, and they realized that he was not a mindless, disgusting monster after all. At once, the device revealed that they had completed their mission, and that the demon lord was actually the new tenant. The demon introduced himself as Yizax, but Vivian thought there must be a mistake somewhere. However, the device revealed that he was truly the tenant, and the monster said that Nangong had woken him up. As he asked to sign the lease, Vivian tried telling Hao Ren to refuse, but the device said he would be fired immediately. Hao Ren wondered if they would be safe from the ghosts at the castle, so with a finger, the demon cast a fireball that obliterated the castle in an instant. But after it was destroyed, they realized that some ghost hunters were heading towards them, and Hao Ren was afraid that they would be discovered, so he suggested that the demon transform into a human, and he did so instantly. At the sight of his gigachad muscles, Hao Ren realized that he was about to be cucked by Tyrone. The following day in Raven's office, he tried saying that she sent him on a death mission, but she thought he wasn't of much good anyway, and Hao Ren discovered that the magic stone was only a portal. Raven told him that Yizax had come from a different dimension, but was stuck on the other side and needed to be freed. In hopes of discovering his rival's weaknesses, Hao Ren wondered who Yizax really was. Raven told him that he was a demon lord from another world, but was cheated by his previous partners because he was a worthless, stinky loser that could not even solve basic math, and was nearly killed by his enemies. At Hao Ren's home, Yizax told the girls that he was going job hunting so that he could pay his rent. So Lily called Vivian an ugly, lazy slob that was too useless to get a job, but Vivian threatened to kick her teeth in. As Hao Ren arrived to witness their bickering, he decided to stay outside, realizing that Tyrone stealing his chicks may not be so bad after all. In the evening, when Hao Ren entered Vivian's room, he realized she had redecorated it, and thought it looked even cooler. She told him that she found a metal plate while cleaning, and Hao Ren realized that he brought it from the dream dimension, and wondered how he could return. Vivian tried reading the ancient words, but realized that she had no idea what it meant. Just then, Hao Ren's phone began to ring, and he discovered that Yizax had been arrested for looking like a useless criminal, so he began heading out to bail him. However, a few days later, as he began heading to Raven's office, he noticed a girl performing on the side. As she waved at him, hoping to get a tip, Hao Ren realized that he was as broke as an old useless tree branch, and decided to leave. But she thought he was a stingy, disgusting loser. Inside Raven's office, she began telling him that his newest tenant was dropped off on a planet that was 895 light years away from Earth, and that it was his duty to travel to space and retrieve her. Hao Ren thought she had lost her mind, but she snapped her fingers to reveal the space station, proving that she means business. She told him that it was the Kuiper space station, and said that he would be teleported to space the following day, before taking a spacecraft to the target planet. As Hao Ren grew uncomfortable, afraid he might get lost in space, Raven told him that she would send a sea expert to help him in space. As she let out those words, the girl entered the office, and Hao Ren realized that she was the same girl he saw earlier. However, she wasn't impressed, and wondered what his ugly ass face was doing here. On the other hand, Raven was impressed that they already knew each other, and revealed that the girl was also his newest tenant. After returning home that day, Hao Ren decided to introduce her to the others, and the girl told them that her name was Yu. She said that she was an outcast just like them, and was a land-born siren. After a few minutes, Hao Ren revealed that they would be having an additional member, and that Yu would be traveling with him to pick her up. As Lily and Vivian offered to join them, Hao Ren said they would be heading off to space, and thought that both of them would be totally useless. So Yizax decided to join him instead, saying he used to own a spacecraft in the past, and knew how to operate it. That night, as Hao Ren tried having a drink from the fridge, Yu nearly scared the shit out of him, but said that he had actually woken her up. As she wondered what kind of weird group they were, having thought his house was an outcast asylum, he told her that they were casual workers, but she thought they were all fucking weirdos.
Yeah, that's pretty true. That's true, and yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's pretty true. That's pretty true. I mean, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's fucking true.
The next day, as they were ready to leave, the device revealed that it would transport them to the space station, and in an instant, they vanished off to space. As they appeared inside the Kuiper station, a young girl welcomed them, and the device revealed that she was the station guide. However, Hao Ren realized she was an alien, but thought she didn't look like ET's ugly bald grandma looking ass. Shortly, they started heading to another section, and Hao Ren wondered why the station was empty. The girl told them that it was an intersection for space transport, and that every traveler leaves immediately. Before long, they arrived at the spacecraft, and soon discovered actual aliens, but the device started pulling Hao Ren towards the ship, saying they were running out of time. Inside the ship, the device revealed that it was a dual-use transport craft, and that they would be transferred to a smaller aircraft once they were closer to their destination. However, Yazax thought this was suspicious, and decided to ask how they would leave the planet once they find the new tenant. The device said another spacecraft would be picking them up, and that they were too valuable to be abandoned on another planet. Just then, the captain appeared on a hologram, and began saying that the flight would cover 200 billion light years, but promised to deliver them safely. Hao Ren wondered how long that would take, so the captain said that they would arrive in 24 hours. At that moment, they realized that the spacecraft was about to launch, and it took off far into space. A few hours later, as they began playing poker, the device revealed that they would soon be transferred into a small airship. Just then, the aircraft began to tremble, and the captain appeared on a hologram, saying that he was entering into a racing competition with a rival cargo ship. The device began saying they must head for the small aircraft immediately, afraid they would be abandoned in space if they missed the transfer point. So they started running towards the ship, hoping to make it out in time. After arriving inside, the device offered to pilot the ship and activated it instantly. However, it discovered that the hatch of the spacecraft was closed and said that it has no jurisdiction to open it, so Yazax decided to do so. Once he got to it, he began pushing the hatch door and burst into the demon instantly, finally opening the hatch. At once, the device started flying out and Yazax hitched a ride. As they started heading towards a new planet, the pressure from the atmosphere nearly caused Hao Ren to shit his pants, and the device revealed that the propeller was damaged, so it was impossible to continue flying. Realizing they were about to be isekai'd, Hao Ren wondered how the protagonist could die in his own anime. But Yu reminded him that he's also the ugliest main character to ever be made, and that no one will miss his disgusting ass.
You're a victim!
Just then, the ship fell into the water, and Hao Ren began to sink deep inside, realizing he was really about to die. Luckily, Yu saved him before he reached the depth, but when he woke up, he realized that he was back into the dream dimension. At that moment, the device appeared before him, revealing that his acquired spirit instability skill had brought him to this dimension. It said that his body managed to survive, and that his companions were waiting in the real world. Just then, Hao Ren heard a noise, and discovered that a new pack of wolves were preparing to attack the wolf that carried him to the settlement. And just as they jumped to eliminate them, he blew them away with his cover, causing them to run off immediately. As the lead wolf noticed his presence, he wondered why he came to their rescue, and said that it was shameful to their tribe. However, as the other wolves demanded for the meat he had promised, he told them that he forgot it in traffic and would bring another next time. Having no other choice, the lead wolf decided to spare his worthless life. Just then, Hao Ren revealed the metal plate and wondered what the words meant. The wolf said that it was a lost ancient language, and that it was used for rituals and blessings. Hao Ren tried asking how it was used, but the device revealed that he would soon return to the real world. Before he knew it, he woke up in the original world, and Yu told him that Yazax nearly bashed his face while trying to wake him up. Yazax said that he was lucky to be awake, and Hao Ren thanked him for not knocking out his tooth. Just then, the device revealed that it has scanned the entire planet, and managed to discover the remains of the aircraft that crashed while transporting their final tenant. At this realization, Yazax suggested that they check the first crash site in hopes of finding her. So after a few hours, they arrived at the site, and Hao Ren wondered why it didn't crash on Earth. As Yu wondered if the tenant survived the crash, Yazax decided to open up the terminal, and realized that it was empty. However, he was not satisfied, and started ripping it apart piece by piece until there was hardly anything left. The device revealed that the tenant was trapped inside the cargo cabin, and suggested that they find it. However, Hao Ren wondered how another human could be locked in the cargo cabin, and thought that Raven must have lost her mind, but agreed to check it out anyway. Before long, they arrived on a cliff, and they discovered that the cargo cabin crashed inside the sea. Hao Ren wondered how a human could possibly survive underwater, but Yu dived in immediately. With Hao Ren afraid she may have drowned, she told him that she would investigate the crash, and the device revealed that the cargo cabin was 5,000 meters deep inside the ocean. Hao Ren thought it was impossible to swim so deep, but soon realized that Waiyu had transformed into a mermaid. However, she told him that she could transform into several forms, and offered to take one of them with her to the depth of the ocean. The device suggested that Hao Ren follows her into the water since he was charged with the duty anyway, so he agreed to go. However, before he was even ready, Yazax threw him into the water, and as he swam to the surface, Waiyu started pulling him deep inside, and he thought he was entering the afterlife. However, he realized that he could actually breathe underwater, and Waiyu told him that she was controlling the water around them, making him immune to the pressure. Shortly, they spotted a monster shark, and Hao Ren wondered how he would survive, but Waiyu turned into a large octopus, scaring off the shark instantly. With the monster gone, she became a mantis shrimp, and he rode her deep into the ocean. After reaching the depth, they finally found the cargo cabin. As Waiyu became a sea snake, she decided to cast a cloud over the cargo, creating a barrier around it. So Hao Ren made his way inside, but noticed that Waiyu could not walk. When he wondered why she didn't return to her human form, she told him that she has no plot armor.
You need to move Lonzo.
That ain't no problem.
Huh?
That ain't no problem.
As they entered the cabin, they realized that it was empty, and Hao Ren thought there must be a mix-up somewhere. At the same time, Waiyu opened a strange device and discovered an egg inside. As Raven's hologram appeared, Hao Ren told her that the cargo was empty, but she revealed that the egg was the tenant and would soon hatch. Shocked by her words, Waiyu abandoned the egg, and it fell on the ground. Luckily, it had no cracks, and Hao Ren wondered how they would return home. Raven told him that she would be coming over and said that he must protect the egg, because it was worth more than his useless, disgusting life. A few hours later, as they waited on the shore, they noticed a spaceship flying towards them, and it buried them in the sand. Just then, Raven appeared before them, saying that she has come to take them home. Inside the ship, Hao Ren began calling her an ugly, moronic leader that could not separate her ass from her brain. But she told him that she came to present him with his own ship, and decided to name it the Hybrid Turtle. But Yazax revealed that it means trash. Raven began telling them that the egg was from a mermaid in another universe, but that their world had collapsed from an apocalypse, and that the egg was the only surviving life. Hao Ren wondered how they would protect it, but Raven said it would hatch on its own, and told Waiyu to watch over it in the meantime. As they were ready to leave, the device decided to start the ship, and Hao Ren was excited to finally return home, so the ship flew off to the station. By the next day, they were teleported back to the home. However, as they entered, they realized that the house was a mess, and noticed that Vivian had bound Lily with ropes. When they wondered why she did so, she told them that Lily had lost her mind like a wild, disgusting animal. Hao Ren thought he could smooth talk her, but she broke the rope and jumped to end them, before getting repelled by the cover, and he fell on his ass because he was too weak and useless. As Lily prepared to charge again, Vivian decided to protect her man, but Hao Ren was only worried about Lily, seeing as she was his first love. Just then, Lily noticed the egg, and thought it would be delicious inside her belly, but Yazax caught her this time and endured all her onslaught. As Hao Ren wondered what really happened, Vivian told him that Lily started acting like a creepy, mindless animal after having supper the previous day. Afraid of losing his favorite wife, Hao Ren suggested that they carry her off to Raven. However, the trashy device thought it was a bad idea as she was still unstable, but Hao Ren knew it was good for nothing. Having had enough, Yazax began to draw a magical array for a teleportation spell, but Hao Ren wondered how he could use sauce for magic. Yazax said it was no big deal, and activated the teleportation spell. In an instant, they vanished, and shortly arrived at Raven's office. As she grew angry at the sight of Hao Ren's horrendous face, he told her that he needs her help, but she soon realized that Lily was chewing on her drumstick. So she decided to hypnotize her and asked her what she could see. Lily told her that she could see a red moon, and could notice several shadows on the moon. She said that she must grow stronger, and tried to attack Raven, but she knocked her unconscious. As they tried to help her, Raven told them that she was about to evolve, and would soon awaken a new ability of her race. However, before awakening this ability, she must go through the reversion process. With Hao Ren confused, Raven explained that Lily was about to transform into a wolf. She said that the evolution must have certainly been triggered by something, and Hao Ren realized that it must have been the red moon they noticed in the sky. So Raven suggested that they send her to the Enhancement Center for temporary healing. Having no other choice, Hao Ren decided to carry her away. Inside the Enhancement Center, as Lily finally woke up, she told them that she has no memories of what happened, but thanked them for their help. A few hours later, Hao Ren told the group to head home, thinking Lily was restored for good, and visited Raven in her office to thank her for the aid. However, she began telling him that he must submit a report on his new tenants, but Hao Ren was exhausted already, and wondered why he couldn't even get a break. Raven told him to consider himself lucky, because with his useless face, he couldn't even hold a job at Starbucks, or ever find a girl who'd deal with his pathetic body.
Emotional damage!
Just then, she began telling him that Lily's reversion process was not over yet, but that she merely suppressed it. Hao Ren wondered if she should be returned immediately, but Raven said that Lily's body could not handle another suppression, and that the process must be finished. On top of that, she thought that Lily's next outbreak would happen on the night of the full moon, and at once, the system revealed that the next day was the full moon. Raven said that she wouldn't offer him any help, and that it was his duty to take care of his own tenants. The following day, as Hao Ren was heading home from shopping, a strange dude spotted him, and smelled demons around him. At home, Hao Ren realized that Vivian was cooking up a potion for Lily, but thought it was probably poison. Vivian revealed that she combined 10 kinds of dried herb powders with her blood formula in hopes of stabilizing Lily's spirit. However, a drop of the potion melted the floor, and Hao Ren thought that Vivian probably intends to eliminate Lily, also that she can have him all to herself. That night, as they camped outside the city, Hao Ren and the others grew tired of waiting for Lily to transform, and fell asleep in that instant. When the full moon was out, Lily started howling like a wolf, and Hao Ren stumbled out of the tent. Before their eyes, a slight breeze swirled around Lily, and they realized she had lost her mind once more. Hao Ren tried talking her back to her senses, but Vivian told him that it was hopeless. Just then, the breeze increased into a mighty wind, and Yizax told them to enter his defense spell, so they hurried into the circle, and the shield protected them from the fierce wind. As the smoke cleared, they realized that she transformed into a huge dog. At that moment, the system told them that she was a Siberian husky, but they wondered why she didn't transform into a wolf. Deciding to man up, Hao Ren began to approach it. Vivian tried warning him that it could be dangerous, but he was determined to win back his first love. Just then, the dog began to lick him, and the girls realized he would not be eaten after all. At that moment, she began howling, and 2 men heard the noise from the city. Desperate to silence her, Vivian tossed a black pill at the dog, and she told Hao Ren that it would make her sleep like a baby. However, the pill only boosted her strength, and she started running towards the city. Afraid she would create chaos, they started following her, but Waiyu was already exhausted. So Hao Ren told Yizax to stop her, and he jumped before her, managing to slow her down, but she smacked him away. As the dog began running again, Vivian trapped it inside a barrier, and Hao Ren dropped on her back. As he tried reminding her who he is, she nearly threw him off for looking too ugly. But Waiyu's voice helped her to relax, and Hao Ren realized that she had transformed into a siren. When the dog finally rested, Hao Ren promised to serve her a large bowl of soup, but they realized she had fallen asleep. Before their eyes, she started returning to her human form, so Waiyu covered Hao Ren's eyes before it lost its virginity, and the bats created a blanket for her. Happy to see her restored, Vivian suggested they return home. However, when they arrived home the following morning, the 2 men decided to carry out their plan. So as Hao Ren put Lily to sleep, one of them knocked him out, realizing he was a weak, disgusting loser that could not even sense their presence. Later that day, as Lily woke up, she realized that she was inside an abandoned house, and wondered how she got here. As she tried hurrying out the door, the knob electrocuted her, and a dark fog spread inside, revealing the 2 men. As she wondered who they were, one of the men, Yuan, told her that they were her companions, and said that they came to offer her some help. The other man said that she was enchanted by Vivian, and that they rescued her so that she would be safe with them. However, Lily told them that she was never in danger, and said that she wishes to return to Hao Ren. Even so, they thought she was not in her right mind, and said that she must remain with them forever, so she tried hurrying outside. But Yuan managed to stop her. However, as they realized that she has no intentions of slowing down, the man knocked her out. With Lily unconscious, he wondered how they would find the rest of their clan, and revealed to them that they were supposed to be a family. Just then, they spotted Vivian's bat flying towards the vent, and the man blasted it with fog, but realized their location would be discovered. At Hao Ren's home, as he finally woke up, Yizax wondered where Lily had gone, and he remembered that he was knocked unconscious. Vivian said that she must have been taken away by the same person that knocked him out, so Hao Ren suggested that they find the abductors immediately. At that moment, the bat flew inside, and Vivian realized that it was one of the bats that became a cloak for Lily. Waiyu said it must have escaped, but Vivian told them that her connection to the bat was broken by a mysterious magical power, and that she could not sense where it came from. why you suggested that they try scanning the bat in hopes of finding a clue, so the device did so and revealed that it could sense ferric oxide around the bat. At that moment, Vivian realized that Lily was trapped inside a steel plant, and Yazak suggested that they search for her immediately. So Hao Ren decided to divide the group, hoping to cover the area much quicker. Meanwhile, at the steel plant, Yuan unleashed dark fog across the buildings to make it impenetrable. As his partner arrived, Yuan told him that no one could penetrate the fog, and that Lily would never be rescued. Before long, Vivian began flying towards the steel plant, and Hao Ren hoped that Lily was somewhere safe. At the same time, Vivian's bat tried entering the fog, but was electrocuted instantly. As Vivian sensed the danger, she flew off to the bat and decided to check its wound. However, Hao Ren was only concerned with Lily's safety and wondered if she has been found, but Vivian caused the bat to vanish. Just then, they noticed the black fog, and Vivian said it was a powerful magic that she couldn't even penetrate, and was better off finding an entrance into the building. As she threw a rock at the fog, it vanished instantly, and Vivian realized she couldn't possibly penetrate it. However, she thought Hao Ren has the ability to nullify every magic, and told him to neutralize the fog. Willing to give it a try, he told her to carry him up to the building, and she told him to activate his shield if it fails. So they began flying towards the top, but Yuan spotted them and unleashed dark fog, but Vivian blocked the attack. As Yuan appeared before their eyes, Hao Ren asked if he abducted Lily, and Vivian demanded that he release her immediately. However, Yuan came for a fight, and instantly transformed into a werewolf. He said that he was Lily's clan, and that she belongs with him forever, so he started shooting fog, but Vivian dodged them all. As she dropped Hao Ren at a safe spot, Yuan came flying at them, but she evaded him and dodged all his attacks before returning to Hao Ren. As she offered to distract the werewolf, she told him to find Lily, and they escaped before Yuan arrived. With Vivian looking to distract him, she sent her bats to disturb his vision, and told Hao Ren to head inside. However, he was stuck on the tower, and realized that he couldn't possibly climb down. At that instant, Yuan destroyed all the bats and flew to end her, but she dodged him, and Hao Ren jumped to the ground. Yuan had fallen for their trap, and as he landed on the tower, Vivian unleashed her fiery claws and successfully wounded him. Sensing her enormous power, Yuan wondered if she was the Countess of the Crimson Moon, a renowned blood-crest vampire that had defeated their ancestors for centuries. She told him that she was, and said that she was willing to beat his ass until he could no longer walk. On the other hand, Hao Ren started climbing up a pipe and was screaming for Lily. As he discovered that he could penetrate the fog, he climbed through the window and crashed inside. Before he knew it, Yuan's partner knocked him aside and punched him again, but his shield eased his landing. Luckily, he escaped before getting another hit and managed to hide, but the werewolf appeared before his eyes and knocked him far away once more. Realizing he has no chance, Hao Ren began running away, but the device tried persuading him to fight. However, he told it to kiss his ass, and when he did, the device revealed that he has acquired a body enhancement skill and could face off with the werewolf, but Hao Ren was too chicken to fight. Just then, the man punched him to the floor, and Hao Ren told the useless device to fuck off. As the man caught him, he spun him around and threw him far off. When Hao Ren wondered how the werewolf continued to find him, the device revealed that he was following his scent. Just then, he appeared before his eyes and tried to capture him, but he escaped and slammed his head into a roof. The device revealed that this was his physical enhancement skill, and as Hao Ren noticed the smoke detector, he caused a shower to start pouring, successfully erasing his scent. And with this distraction, he managed to sneak away. A few minutes later, he found Lily and realized she was asleep. As she woke up, he told her that they have been searching for her, but she only cared about breakfast and started demanding for food like a spoiled, useless brat. However, as they began to leave, the werewolf appeared before their eyes, saying that he would never allow them to escape. Hao Ren asked why he abducted his wife, but the man said that she was from their clan, and that she has been brainwashed by Vivian. Right then, Yuan crashed inside, and they realized that Vivian had kicked his ass. As the man prepared to avenge his brother, Yuan stopped him, saying that she was the Countess of the Crimson Moon, and would beat his ass until he could only crawl. These words made him hesitate, and he asked Lily if she was sticking with the group because she was being threatened. Lily revealed that she was actually staying because Vivian cooks the best meals, and that it was all she ever cares about. Even so, the man tried persuading her to switch sides, and Hao Ren realized that this was all a very big misunderstanding. so he decided to explain everything to them. When he was done, the men realized that Lily was not enchanted after all, and that they were only Hao Ren's tenants. Vivian wondered why they came to the city, so the man revealed that they were seeking for more companions that would help in restoring their clan. Yuen said that the siren's prophecy was close to being fulfilled, and that all the outcasts would soon regain their strength. Just then, they realized that demon hunters have surrounded them. Immediately, the werewolves unleashed their full powers, and the leader wondered why they were all here together. Yuen tried telling him to fuck off, but an arrow pierced his arm, and the leader revealed that they came to capture them. As Hao Ren tried to protect them, the leader told him to go play outside while the grown-ups take care of business, and directed his men to eliminate them. Immediately, Hao Ren casted a shield and protected them from all the arrows, allowing them to run away. However, the leader commanded the hunters to continue with their attacks, but Hao Ren blocked all of them. Looking to draw their attention, Vivian flew towards the hunters, clouding their vision with red smoke before escaping outside. At the same time, Lily turned into a werewolf, and the hunters tried to aim at her, but she kicked one away and jumped out the window. At that instant, Hao Ren tossed the device, and a blinding light flashed across their eyes, allowing them to escape. However, a hunter appeared before Vivian, thinking he could eliminate her, and while Lily managed to avoid the arrows, she punched a brick into one hunter. As Hao Ren and the brothers arrived outside, they realized that they have been discovered, and the hunters appeared before them. Thinking they could defeat them, the brothers charged for an attack, but another hunter stopped Hao Ren from following them, telling him that she was his own opponent. Just then, his shield blocked her punch, and she wondered who he was. Hao Ren said he was human, but she vanished before he could hit her. She thought he was probably an advanced robot, and said that she would capture him for some experiment. Before she could fire, Hao Ren threw his device to distract her, and started charging to knock her tooth out, but she disappeared at that instant. As she fired arrows, his shield blocked them, and he leapt back from an explosion. At once, he flew towards her and evaded a blast, but she escaped getting crushed, and blasted the pipe to eliminate him. However, Hao Ren followed her, and finally landed a punch, causing her to fall unconscious. Just then, he heard Lily howling, and hurried off to find her. At the same time, another hunter tried slaying Vivian's bats, but Lily knocked him to the ground. On the other side, the werewolves continued charging at the hunters, but they shot them with an arrow, and wounded one of them. Yuen began charging for revenge, and successfully took down one of the hunters, but the leader stabbed him with a knife, and ice covered half of his body. The leader said that he has fallen right into his trap, and demanded to know why they were searching for the rest of their clan, offering to spare Yuen in exchange for the information. However, Hao Ren landed before them, and Lily crashed through the wall, rolling all the way to offer support. As she discovered that Yuen had been captured, she decided to unleash her inner Wolverine, the special skill she acquired from her evolution, and blocked the leader's knife. With a roar, she unleashed two separate tornadoes, but the hunters shielded themselves from their combined power, and a thick gas exploded. By the time it cleared away, the hunters realized they had escaped. Inside the forest, as they wondered if Yuen could be healed, Vivian revealed that she has cast her magic across the forest to protect them in the meantime. As she wondered how the demon hunters discovered their whereabouts in the first place, the werewolf revealed that they must have noticed their presence in the city. Just then, Yizax and Wyu appeared before them, and the werewolf realized they were also outcasts. In an instant, the device flew towards Hao Ren, trying to crush him for throwing it away, but he stopped it with his shield. Shortly, Wyu revealed that she could heal Yuen with her water magic, so she created a large bubble and began the healing process. As Vivian demanded to know why the men had really abducted Lily, the werewolf began saying that they did so because of the siren's prophecy. He said that a powerful siren had prophesied about the day of the return, and said that on this day, all the outcasts would regain their true strength and would annihilate all the demon hunters. Hearing his words, the group thought his explanation was acceptable, and soon realized that Yuen was healed already, so Wyu dissolved the bubble. Just then, Hao Ren narrowly dodged a knife, and a hunter started running towards them, but Yizax caught him and planted him face first. In an instant, Hao Ren blocked more knives, and the lead hunter appeared before their eyes for some payback. As he threw his knife at Yizax, it melted instantly, and Yizax tried suggesting that they make peace, calling himself a pacifist. However, the leader thought he was too useless and threw more knives to end him, but they melted at once. Even with this, Yizax continued persuading him to make peace, and the leader realized that he was about to be roasted like chicken. Knowing he basically stood no chance, he started running away, but with a gesture, Yizax teleported him back and caught him before he escaped. He said that he would not allow him to leave without first agreeing to be a good guy. but the man thought he was nuts. As Yizax realized that this was hopeless, he knocked him to the ground. So with the werewolves ready to leave, Waiyu decided to ask for the meaning of the siren's prophecy, thinking her clan may also be in danger. The older guy began telling her that the source of their ancient power was starting to awaken, and that their kingdoms would be rebuilt after the day of the return. This was their sign, and he said that they would no longer be called outcasts. For the final time, he asked Lily if she was willing to follow them, but the lazy, useless foodie could not give two shits about the clan, and told him that she would rather stay with the group. So the brothers hurried away, and Yizax prepared to carry the hunters. In an instant, the girl hunter appeared beside Waiyu, threatening to eliminate her if the hunters were not released. Just then, they spotted Nangong on a tree, and he landed before them, introducing himself to the girl hunter. He said that he was an independent hunter, and that he came to capture Waiyu for questioning, but would send her back right after. Somehow the girl believed his bullshit, and released Waiyu to him, so Yizax released the hunters, allowing her to vanish with them. With peace restored, Waiyu elbowed Nangong and hurried off to Lily. As Nangong began telling Waiyu that he was happy to see her again, she kicked him far off to a tree, and everyone realized that she was actually his sister. Later that day, Nangong revealed that Waiyu was the girl in his photograph, but Waiyu confessed that she was sick of seeing his ugly, disgusting face wherever she went, and thought he was a useless perv that couldn't just get a life for himself. Nangong tried saying that he was her self-appointed protector, but she told him to appoint his worthless body at a hospital. When Hao Ren wondered why Nangong was not a siren like his sister, he revealed that only their mother was a siren, but that their father was a demon hunter. This made sense to the group, as only a girl could become a siren in this case. Just then, Nangong decided to look outside, and the werewolves realized that he was a demon hunter. As Yuan prepared to tear him apart, Hao Ren tried telling him that Nangong was not their enemy. Even so, the useless moron only cares for a fight, and started charging at him anyway. However, Yizax managed to stop them, and both of them started apologizing for being useless. When Vivian wondered why the brothers had come, the older guy revealed that they came to invite her to their clan, as they thought she could even their battle with the demon hunters. However, Vivian had no intention of switching sides, and told them that she belongs with Hao Ren. Even so, the man just didn't know when to quit, and offered her gold, hoping to win her over. Vivian thought this was her lucky day, and realized she could change her entire wardrobe with this single bar. Just then, the light went out, and they thought the demon hunters have returned once more. However, they soon discovered that even the water was gone, and Lily said that the stove wasn't working. At that moment, Hao Ren realized that all the bills were not paid for, and the girls confessed that they invested all his money in a crypto rug pull. Hearing these words, Hao Ren realized that a harem was not meant for losers like him, and decided to head inside for some rest. So Lily suggested that they find a job, so that they could pay for all the bills and regain his trust. Her words made sense to the others, and they agreed to do so. The following morning, Hao Ren realized the house was empty, and told the device to teleport him to Raven's office. Inside her office, Hao Ren began telling Raven that the iron plate he took from the dream dimension probably contains prophecies, and wondered if the outcasts were connected to the dream dimension. Raven told him that they were connected, and said that most outcasts actually came from the dream dimension. Hao Ren wondered how they did so, and thought they could end the fight between the outcasts and demon hunters if they could discover how the war started in the first place. However, Raven told him to go find something better to do with his time, saying that she would send him off to the dream dimension so that he would figure everything out on his own, but warned him to be careful of the negative effects of the dimension. That night, as he teleported home, he discovered that the power was back on, and realized that Vivian had made dinner. Lily told him that they all got a job to earn a few bucks, and Yizax said that they decided to help him out because he was looking too weak and useless. Outside, the brothers realized that Hao Ren has managed to restore his home, and that they would not be leaving with any of his wives, so they vanished instantly. That same night, Hao Ren revealed that he would be entering the dream dimension the next day to investigate the siren's prophecy. Lily thought it would make a good vacation, and offered to come along, so Vivian suggested the same thing. Just as he accepted, Yizax and Waiyu also offered to join them, and Hao Ren realized that he was better off having every single person by his side. Later that day, Hao Ren wondered what Lily was cooking, so she told him that she wanted to make him the tastiest hard-boiled egg, revealing that she was cooking their future roommate. Watch this next video. Till next time, my fellow legendary plot masters.